All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My brothers and sisters over at YouTube, Pastor Dowell here. Hey, check it out. We all know that there's a trend that happens. We all know there's a trend that takes place. We know what goes on, right? It looks like, even though many don't agree, it looks like we know that there's something terribly wrong. But it looks like that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is actually going to be the ones in office. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. First thing is going to happen, whatever guns that are left on the shelf, they're going to disappear. And whatever ammo that's out there is going to be gone. So my advice is before January 20th, you better go out there and get on every place you can possible and buy all the ammo you can get, because guns are no good without ammo. You know that they're going to, in their own mind, going to go out there and think that they can regulate us, even though that the Second Amendment is ironclad and entrenched. They're going to do whatever they can to regulate law-abiding citizens from owning what they call assault weapons and all this old other stuff. You can tell these people ain't never did no military time. You can just tell that. But they think they're going to do the country some good. Now, when Republicans in office, people don't buy as many guns. Matter of fact, they don't buy as many guns or ammo. But as soon as the Democrats get in office, that's the first thing that happens. And for the next 4 years, you better believe that the gun manufacturers are going to profit. Matter of fact, you may want to actually get in on their stocks too, because there's going to be a great profit on that too. But it just seemed to be the trend. Seems to be the time that we're living in. It's just the way that it is, because we don't have a lick of confidence in whatsoever at all. Now, if any of you have been listening to me for any period of time, you know that I've often said over and over again, get out of those population centers. And I keep on screaming and hollering and shouting it even more so as I continue to keep seeing the civil unrest, as I continue to keep watching all these white terrorists. And I don't mean anything about any racial discrimination against that or whatsoever at all. But the guy that bombed Nashville, Tennessee down there, he did basically a suicide bomb attack on the city down there in Nashville. He blew himself up. I mean, after all, if somebody was in Jerusalem and a suicide bomber used a vest, used a van, or used a car and blew up himself, we would call them terrorists, wouldn't we? So what he was a white terrorist that intended on inflicting harm. Now, he did it in the morning hours. What was the intended purpose of him blowing it up? I don't know. But I do know this, and I've always said this. Whenever people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And when you have economically uncertainty, we're definitely, if it wasn't for the printing press, we would be in the Great Depression right now. We would literally, physically be in the Great Depression right now. The only thing that is saving us, and we have the illusion that we're still functioning, is the printing press. That's it. And at the Congress, they tripped me out. All of them do. When they talk about, we need to get this money, get that money, and of course all the money is going to come from the Federal Reserve or the rich people. I don't even know where they get this stuff from, but man, they are making out like fat cats on the interest that the American so-called people are paying. And of course, you know, the reason why we have these senators and everything is because they consider us incompetent to know what to do yet, and still the only answers they have for everything for us is debt. Just nothing but debt. And $600 little measly dollars getting ready to roll out here. Man, that stuff is going to be gone quicker than you can buy 10 loaves of bread and some eggs and milk. It's going to be sad. What a sad, sad day and time and hour we living in. But man, if you follow what I've been trying to teach us over the years and stuff, you should be faring pretty well right now. You probably want to pass around my videos, and at least for those who want to hear and have the ears to hear, the eyes to see and ears to hear, you may want to give them my videos so that the ones that do have eyes to see and the ears to hear, you may want to share it on Facebook or any other platform. And the reason being, because there may be a few people that are willing to save themselves from this untoward generation. Because you wouldn't believe how many thanks and accolades I get that people reap on me over and over and over again. And I'm going to thank Pastor Dowell over and over and over again, because people, and not even in the ministry, they actually, I had somebody send me $1,000 the other day, said that they don't believe in no God. They're pretty much atheists, but they followed my advice, and what they said, you know, I need to pay it forward and show you how grateful and thankful I am by giving you $1,000 because you gave me this advice. Now my own family, we have our own homestead that we live on. And since then, I moved out of the city. We have our own homestead. We're growing our own food. And we thank you for it, Pastor Dowell. And the only thing they watch is my YouTube videos. That's it. And so, you know, when I get letters like that, even if I only just get one, it makes it all worthwhile what I've been trying to tell people. But man, it's going to get a whole lot more worse in these population centers. And you want to try to do whatever you can to get out of them. And that's going to, you know, change is painful. Sacrifice is painful. But unless you do it and start doing it now, can you imagine? Look at those children that you have in your home. Can you imagine what kind of future that they're going to have if you don't become wise and start being wise and making moves in order to preserve you and your family? It's going to be bad. It's going to really, truly be bad. You better do something about it.